I'm standing in the middle of a war zone, the air thick with tension, my heart racing with every word my mom utters. "Who's the witch? Who's the devil?" She's screaming, her face red with rage, as she waves my phone in the air, the private messages I sent to my friends now being used as ammunition against me. Let me take a step back, to a time when life wasn't so complicated. I'm a 21-year-old med student, living with my parents in the Middle East, where it's customary for daughters to stay at home until they're married or have finished their studies. My parents, particularly my mom, have always been controlling, but I've learned to navigate their rules and expectations. I've become adept at biting my tongue, avoiding confrontations, and keeping my feelings locked away. My mom, a housewife, has always been obsessed with money, constantly complaining about our financial situation, comparing us to others, and begrudging those who have more than us. My dad, on the other hand, has been the voice of reason, but his recent financial struggles have put a strain on our family. Lately, though, I've started to stand up for myself, to assert my independence, and to express my feelings. It's been a liberating experience, but also a treacherous one. Every time I push back, my mom explodes, and the consequences are dire. She's always been a master manipulator, using guilt, threats, and emotional blackmail to get what she wants. My dad, although well-intentioned, often enables her behavior, never confronting her or setting boundaries. My younger siblings and I have learned to walk on eggshells, never knowing when our mom's temper will flare up. One of the biggest issues we've faced is our mom's constant need for control. She wants to dictate every aspect of our lives, from what we wear to what we eat, and even how we spend our free time. When I expressed my desire to go to the gym alone, she was furious, threatening to take away my car and dictating that my dad would drive me and my sister to the gym every day. It was a small request, but it sparked a huge argument, with my mom accusing me of being selfish and ungrateful. I remember thinking, I'm 21 years old. Can't I have 1 hour to myself? The final straw came when my mom planned a family trip to a nearby city. We were all excited, but then my dad canceled, citing financial constraints. My mom was furious, and we were all disappointed. But what really sparked the argument was when we found out that my dad wasn't even supposed to stay on the trip. He was just going to drive us there. My mom had lied to us, and we felt betrayed. I confronted her, saying, "Every trip with you and Dad ends up like this. Dad changes his mind, and when he does, you just accept it. But if one of us did something like that, we get screamed at." She got angry, and the conversation ended there. The next day, things escalated. My mom acted like nothing had happened, but then she dropped a bombshell. She told me that my dad wasn't going to give me my monthly allowance anymore, and that all his money was hers anyway. It was a veiled threat, a reminder that she could take away everything I had if I didn't behave. I was furious, but I didn't argue. I just stopped talking, feeling like anything I said would be twisted and used against me. Later that day, my mom went through my phone, reading my private messages and finding the ones where I had called her a devil and a witch. She exploded, screaming and crying, and threatening to tell my dad everything. I tried to explain that those messages were private, but she didn't care. She just wanted to punish me, to make me suffer for my disobedience. The situation spiraled out of control, with my dad getting involved and lecturing me about respecting my parents. He compared our situation to his own childhood, where his father had physically abused him, and how he still respected him despite everything. It felt like he was trivializing our experiences, dismissing the emotional manipulation and control we'd suffered. When we tried to explain our side of the story, he interrupted us, defending my mom and telling us that we were wrong to question her. The conversation went nowhere, with my younger sister eventually apologizing just to make it stop. But I couldn't bring myself to apologize, not when none of the issues that had caused all this resentment were being acknowledged. The next day, my dad bought my mom a brand new phone, despite weeks of telling us that money was tight. It was a slap in the face, a reminder that the rules and priorities change depending on who benefited. I'm left feeling resentful, angry, and frustrated. I know I'm not perfect, and I've said things in anger that I regret. But I also feel like my reactions didn't come out of nowhere. They came after years of feeling controlled, criticized, dismissed, and like my feelings only mattered when they agreed with what my parents wanted. I don't want to constantly fight with my mom, but I also can't pretend everything is normal and just move on every time something happens. I need to express my feelings, to set boundaries, and to be heard. But for now, I'm stuck in this toxic cycle, unsure of how to break free. As I stand here, surrounded by the wreckage of our relationship, I'm left wondering, can I ever forgive my mom for her actions, or will the resentment consume me forever?
If you made it this far, thank you for watching. Drop your verdict in the comments below, subscribe for new stories every single day, and hit the notification bell so you never miss one.